Coaching. It's happy hour. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's alive at 5. I'm full of it. Hello, everyone. We've had a lot of new members, and I also know that people check out these videos. So hello, my name is Rebecca. I am the Wanderlust virtual assistant, and I run the Laptop Freedom program, Laptop Freedom Moms program. These are all programs to get your virtual assistant business up and running. Download my free guide on how to find clients. Check out the How to Start Without a Website mini course. Post on the wall. We are just a plethora of support and mentorship here, and that's what we love. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Say hi. I am looking at a blank screen right now, so give me a wave. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to say hi to you. And it's Cocktails and Coaching. So let me know who has a beverage. We are going to be talking about taxes today. So timely. There's the Christmases, there's the New Year's, and then there's the oh shit. I gotta do taxes. Hello, Elise. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Jess. Hello, Katie. Oh, so good. This is an old-fashioned Woodford Reserve bourbon, cedar charred bitters, maple syrup instead of sugar, and a orange rind. I was like trying to think of some like, hi Jamie. I'm trying to think of some like sexy way to say orange, but what are these called? Aren't these called like navel? Something to do with your belly button, right? Anyway, all right, so cheers everyone. I hope you have a glass of wine, a cocktail, a beer, a water. I don't care. I can't see anyway. Okay. Oh, that's so good. My tip for making cocktails at home, invest in an ice cube tray that allows you to make the big ice cubes. They're not cheap. They're like $15 a tray, but wow, they take your game to a whole nother level. Some bars don't even have them. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's cozy up. Let's talk about taxes. Yeah, Elise, Woodford. I had a feeling I was going to hear from you when I said Woodford Reserve. I think maybe we're bourbon sisters. Okay, so let's talk taxes. I put this on Instagram and got so many questions. Sphere oranges, Jess? Spheres? Oh, ice cube spheres. Yes, I have one of those too. Okay, yeah, they're also... I know someone with Star Wars ice cubes. It's so cool. There's a lot of fun. Okay, stop distracting me. Let's talk about taxes. So I put this question on Instagram and got a lot of questions. I wrote them all down. So if you asked a question on Instagram, A, thank you so much. Like, that was so helpful. And B, I've written them all down. I will get to every single one of them. But also, let's just dive into kind of the nitty-gritty of taxes. Now, I need to preface, this is like a whole freaking chapter in the Laptop Freedom program. So, like, we've got all the, information on the forms you need. We've got spreadsheets that you can download. Like, I got, modules on whether you're American, European, Canadian, all this kind of stuff. So, hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. So I'm not going to, give the whole module here because that would take forever, but I am going to really empower you with a summary and everything that I know that I can share here on Cocktails and Coaching. So, another sip because this is so good. You can tell I've already had half of it because she's low. Okay, so my number one tip for doing taxes, start off right away. It's a practice, and this is to track your revenue and track your expenses in your business. Now remember, when you do, and I know we all know this, but when you do taxes in January or April or whatever, it's for the previous year. So if you are starting your virtual assistant business in July, your taxes when it comes to the following January are going to include your 9-to-5 income and the income you make as a virtual assistant. And then if you leave your 9-to-5, your taxes will eventually just be that, okay? So it's okay that your taxes for the year that you start your business might have both going on. I remember this made me so nervous and my accountant didn't even bat an eye, okay? so normal to kind of like start a business halfway through a year and be doing multiple taxes, okay? So my first tip, it's really simple. This also helps you understand your business, is track your revenue. This is what you make as a virtual assistant, the money that your clients pay you, and track your expenses, okay? I'm going to go through examples of expenses in a little bit later, but I know it's simple and I know that maybe you'll do it later, but it is actually really important to be thinking every single day, okay, this is revenue and this is expenses, and like filing it away and putting it in a spreadsheet so that when tax season comes around, you are accurate on your revenue, because here's the thing, the government knows how much you made. So it's like you are confirming that they have the right numbers, and you are also tracking your expenses so that you get money back. Yay! Okay? So now you are tracking your revenue and your expenses. Set 20 to 30% aside to pay your taxes, okay? This is the difference. When you're in a 9 to 5, your taxes are already being removed from your paycheck by the corporation and is being paid to the government. So when tax season comes around in a 9 to 5 job, sometimes you get money, right? You get money back. Well, it's different when you work for yourself. Instead of getting money back, you now pay money. You're not paying more. In some cases, you might even be paying less, okay? But now, instead of receiving a check, you are giving money to the government. So when you receive money from your clients, when you receive revenue in your head right away, you need to subtract 20 to 30% of that. It's going to go to the government for your taxes. So you do not want to spend every penny that you make in revenue, right? Because then when tax season comes around, the government's like, oh, hey, you owe us 20 to 30%. You're going to be like, ooh, that money, right, I spent it all. So put it aside right away. And, in the Laptop Freedom Program, we really just suggest opening a whole different set of bank accounts. And so you just put it aside and you get really used to it. Okay. Right. I've got notes here. It's just really small font. So you are going to register as a sole proprietor when you start off your virtual assistant business, okay? You are self-employed and you are going to register as a sole proprietor. If you're concerned about LLCs or corporations or all that kind of stuff, whoo-sa, you can take a deep breath. You, in fact, don't need to worry about that right away. The great thing that these governments have done is they support people starting businesses. They support self-employed people. And so they say, okay, hey, for the first couple $10,000s, you can be a sole proprietor. And it's really easy to file your taxes this way. And then you can cross bridges about registering your business later. Okay, cool. And what your level of revenue and income at the point where you need to register your business is different for every country. So that's something you're going to want to check. Okay, cool. Now, I hope you're taking notes. This is very much like a bullet point cocktails and coaching session, okay? So we've talked about tracking your revenue expenses, especially you just want get in the face of your money. Be like, hi, money, we're friends now, I see you. When you're working for yourself, get really used to staring at your money, looking at your bank account, watching it come in, watching it go. Trust me, it might be weird at first. It is so much more empowering. Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk about W-9s right now, Elise. What we got here? Any chance you can touch on W-9s? Yeah. God, you are on it, girl. It's literally my next point. Okay. So, USVAs. Okay? USVAs. Sisters, raise your hands. To your US clients in January, you send them a W-9. Now, this is a form, it's a one-page form. You get it off of the website, super easy, okay? You send your clients a W-9 if they have paid you more than $600. in that year. US VAs to US clients. Do you have a US client who has paid you more than $600? Yes. Download a W-9, fill it in, email it to them. Then you wash your hands. What your clients do with the W-9 is up to their frickin' business, okay? But what they should do is they should file it if they're good business people, and then they send you a 1099. Okay, so you ask your clients, hey, here's a W-9, can you please send me a 1099? These are like small forms, okay? These are like one-page forms. Send your W-9s in January to your clients. Cool? Okay. Canadian VAs. Raise your hand, sisters. Canadian VAs. You don't need to do anything. You! UK VAs, raise your hands. UK is a mixture of a couple different regions. It's the United Kingdom. They're all a little different. So I'm sorry, babes. You're going to want to go to your .gov website and figure out what you need as a sole proprietor, okay? Don't let these forms scare you. It's really simple, okay? Go to your government website now, download the W-9. Send it to every U.S. client that has paid you more than $600. Done. They are then supposed to send you a 1099. Cool. Canadians, you cool babes. No forms. Not too sure why, but no forms. I think maybe just the tax process in Canada is just, you probably fill all that stuff in the form. Okay. Next tip. Please, 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 disclaimer, this is my asterisk, I am not a tax professional. Rebecca is not a tax professional. I have to say that. I am not a tax professional. But you can hire one. Yes, you can hire one. Here's my tips about tax professionals. Bookkeepers are not tax professionals. You might have a bookkeeper who's told you that they file taxes, and maybe they do a good job. Maybe they do. However, in my experience, I did submit my taxes with a bookkeeper because she was cheap. She cost me like $50, and she didn't do a good job. I didn't get in trouble, but I didn't like get the money back I should have gotten, or I paid more, so then the next year I was like, this is weird. I'm not a professional at taxes, but I could tell that something was a little off. And so the next year I got an accountant to do my taxes, and this accountant can cost, around $200. That's it, once, and you expense that. So it's really, really worth it, okay? They are going to do it properly. They're going to ask you questions that they know they need to ask you. And you can ask them questions, and you're going to know that they are going to be, they go to school for this, okay? They are certified, they go to school. Textbooks on taxes are huge. So they are trained. I would really, really recommend, especially as a self-employed person, I would avoid pop-up tax places like H&R Block. I would avoid using a bookkeeper. I know they're cheap. I know. I did it. It's fine. I didn't get in trouble. But when I finally hired an accountant, he looked back and he was like, who did your taxes last year? And I was like, a bookkeeper? And he was like, gross. Did not do a good job. You could have gotten way more money back. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? C, Jess loves an accountant. Joanna loves her accountant. And then you literally don't talk to them at like any other time. You just email them all your revenue and expense sheet and all the information they need. And then they literally email you back having done all the work. And then they say, great, $200. And then you're like, great. And then that's it. It's so easy. It's so worth it. So don't get scared. If you need an accountant, ask in the One to Less virtual assistant group. Accountants are not specific to state or province. So it's not like they can't help you. So post in the Wanderlust group, be like, hey, who is a great US accountant or who is a great Canadian accountant? I've never met an accountant who won't take on more clients. Because I think they're like just really fucking busy 4 times a year. Ish. This is my guess, okay? Okay. So now let's talk about expenses, okay? So revenue, really straightforward. In fact, I gotta open up revenue, really straightforward. The money your clients pay you. The money your clients pay you for the virtual assistant work that you do is your VA revenue. Cool? Expenses. Now, expensing things for your business is an ongoing educational process. You're not going to nail it in the first year. And in 5 years, you're going to realize there were some things you could have expensed. That's fine. Have patience with yourself. But these are the type of things that you can now expense as a virtual assistant. Office supplies, your laptop, your pens, your paper clips, office supplies, okay? Internet, your phone, all these things that you're using to be a remote online virtual assistant, okay? Your home office. Now, how do you expense your home office? Every accountant's going to tell you something a little differently because the chances of someone auditing your home office and coming with like a measuring tape and like measuring your home office square footage is really, really rare, okay? I don't want to say never say never, but it's really rare that you are going to get audited in the sense that someone's going to come and measure out your house. But this is rule of thumb for expensing your office space. Take your home office, which is about the size of a bedroom, and you take the square footage and you it's a percentage of the square footage of your entire house. And then you expense that. Rent or mortgage. I've never had a mortgage, but I expense my rent. Cool? That's how you expense your home office. Okay, education and courses. Did you sign up for the Laptop Freedom Program? You can expense it. Woo! Insert plug here. Join the Laptop Freedom Program today. Just kidding, we just closed it. Okay, so depends when you watch this, actually. So you can expense any courses that you take. This is awesome. Continue your virtual assistant education. Invest in mentors. Buy books. You can expense all that. It's awesome, okay? Client gifts. Hey, are you sending your client gifts, thank you gifts, Christmas gifts, birthday gifts? You can expense that. You can expense client gifts. You want to be tracking all of this. Software and programs. Are you paying for a Canva Pro account? Are you paying for Adobe Photoshop? Are you paying for extra Gmail space? You can expense all of that. Cool? PayPal fees. Yay, okay? Every time you receive money from a client from any payment portal like PayPal, Stripe, Wave, Honeybooks, there is a small fee associated with each transaction. Welcome to business. You can expense all of those. So track those, okay? Track those in your revenue and expense sheet. Legal and accounting fees. This is the last one on my list. So, oh no, an accountant's going to cost $200 to do your taxes. Expense it! Yay! This January, I get to expense the amount I paid my accountant to do my taxes last year. Isn't that great? Track all of this stuff. You can expense all that fun stuff, which is great. And how expensing works is expenses are minused from your revenue, from your income, and lowers what you earned, so you pay less income tax. Hope that made sense, okay? Okay, So now I'm gonna pop into the questions that were asked on Instagram. Yay, I'm totally gonna do more question boxes. This is so fun. Okay, let me go through the comments here. Hello, Chad. Hi, Megan. Oh my gosh. Who else do we have here? Jamie's here. Gracie. Hi, girlfriend. Man, we've got some laptop freedom babes here. This is all in the modules, by the way. Okay, so one of the questions was, how can I assure my tax professional is a good fit? So this is a great question, and I literally contacted a different tax professional because obviously I didn't want to ask my own this exact question. Okay, she said, wow, that's a big response. Let me see. Okay. Basically what she said was, I wouldn't say a tax accountant has to be super well versed in online-based businesses unless they are completely unopen to learning and listening to you, okay? Okay, so then she said, they may not accept some of your expenses as deductions or know what to pick up on that could be deductible that you may not be aware of. By no means am I saying that this is what's happening, it's just what I would watch out for. So she said, if you're getting good advice on how to be paying yourself through your corporation, so I have a corporation, that's also good. So really what she's saying is like, your accountant doesn't have to be an accountant like ultra familiar with online businesses. Taxes are taxes. What she said is that you trust that you are working with someone who knows their shit. And from my personal experience, I knew when I was working with someone who didn't, and I could just tell when I was working with someone who did. And I'm not a tax expert. You just know, right? They're asking you the right questions. They're accepting your expense and tracking sheet. They're answering all of your questions. And you can ask your accountant like, hey, what are other people deducting? Or like, hey, can I expense this? And then they can say yes or no. They're a total pro in these areas. However, they do not need to be a like specialized accountant in online businesses. So my accountant is not like specialized in online businesses, but is he really good at what he does? Yeah. Is he super helpful? Does he answer every single one of my emails? Did he meet me in person on the first day because I was nervous? Yes. So I'm going to stick with them because it's not that nuancy. Okay. Hope that answered that question. Next question was, should I report earnings in cash? Yes. Yes. If it's not, then it is under the table, and we all know what that means. Okay, next question. Is it best to keep my biz based in the US? So this is really interesting question, okay? Anyone, any VA can work for any client anywhere in the world, okay? However, where this question gets kind of layered and interesting is that in your best interest, if you were a US VA, raise your hand, I would charge in US dollars. Because if you had a Canadian client and they wanted to be charged in Canadian dollars, you'd be earning less, right? If you had an Australian client and they wanted to charge they wanted to pay in Australian dollars, you'd be earning less. So instead of asking, should I base my business out of the US, my response is base your business on US dollars. Now, Canadian VAs, raise your hand. A US client paying you in US dollars is great, you earn more. And a Canadian client pays you in Canadian dollars and there's no difference. So instead of asking, should I base my business out of my country, I would say base it off of your currency so that you are always ahead. Did that make sense? Let me know if the currency one made sense. Okay. Now these are some international questions. Hello, Erin. Hello, hello. Okay. If you complete, okay. International stuff. regardless of where your clients are based, you pay taxes in your country. This is a country that you are a citizen of. And you do not worry about your other clients' taxes. Let me repeat that. You do not worry about your clients' taxes. That is their shit. That is their business. You are running your business. They are running theirs. It is not a concern of yours. So whether you have Canadian clients, Australian clients, European clients, American clients, you pay taxes to the country that you live in, that you are a citizen of. Now, yes, you will complete the forms that your country requires. So Canadians don't need forms. US VAs, you do need forms. If you've got Canadian clients, that's okay. They don't have forms they have to submit. Don't lose your sleep over it. You worry about you and what your country needs. Now, if I've got women in here, Wanderlusters that are from other countries, check your government website and search sole proprietor taxes. That's where all your answers are going to be. While you are traveling and working for many, many clients, guess what? You still pay taxes to your country. Where that starts to shift and needs to become your responsibility, where you need to start getting curious, is if you move to another country. If you start to reside in another country, you're like, hey, you know what? Bali was fucking sick. I'm moving to Bali. That's when you need to start to really research what that looks like, residing in another country and figuring out taxes that way. But if you are digital nomading and traveling around and hopping from country to country and you're working for clients all over the world, you still pay taxes to your country, and you pay taxes in the way that your country requires you to pay taxes. So it's really simple. And I know that because I was there, I was freaking out. And we teach this in the Laptop Freedom Program. The taxes are this scary thing. You think it's this monster who's is gonna lock you up in the revenue agency dungeon if you really screw this up. It's as simple as you are a sole proprietor and you pay taxes in your country and you do it by your country's rules. That's it. And you do not worry about your clients' taxes. You do not worry. If they live in a country that needs forms from you and they forget to ask you, not your problem. Not your problem. It's their business. Cool? So I hope that was really helpful. I hope that was timely. It's January. Taxes are up ahead. This was a big one. This was 30-minute cocktails and coaching. That's a long one. Need a sip. Anyone hopping on? I'm rocking an old fashioned. It's so good. I make a really good old fashioned. If I ever have a Laptop Freedom Program retreat, I'm going to make everyone old fashions. I plan to have one after COVID. So that is taxes. There was a lot of information there. I hope you took notes. And there's a lot more details that we go into and all that kind of stuff. But really the bulk of it is that it's pretty simple. You get an accountant and you just file taxes in your country. And you can travel the world and you can work for people from all over the world as a contractor. Remember, VAs are contractors, not employees. So that's another fun thing to remember too. And the biggest takeaway is, woohoo, when you work for yourself, you owe taxes. You don't get money back. But that's because you get money back because too many taxes were getting taken off of your paycheck. Isn't that wild? We think it's this bonus check. No, they're just giving you money back because you paid too much every year because expenses come in from the company. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on to this one. And I will check the comments for any questions that I may have missed. Good night, everyone.